Alright, so we're looking, this is the shingle again. It's the Owens Corning Duration. Color is going to be brown wood. And this is the, I don't know if you want to call it the felt paper or whatever, but it's synthetic. So once we get going here, we'll open it up and take a look at it a little bit closer. You got the ice and water stuff as well. Some starter strip as well right there. Okay, so this is what the shingle looks like here. Here's that nailing flange that has like a mesh in it. So this is designed so that the nail doesn't pull through, or the shingle can't pull off the nail, because it's like a, I don't know, kind of like a nylon band almost. So it's good for that. It's bad if you need to cut them, because this doesn't like to cut. It just likes to rip and tear. So that kind of makes it challenging. The color of the shingle is a brown wood is what they call it. And like I said, it's a Owens Corning Duration. And this over here then is going to be the cap. So this is what will be used for all the ridge. So similar color, I think it's also brown wood. So that's kind of what it looks like. It's front side and then the back side. That's what it looks like there. This one obviously we're not using, but it gives you an idea kind of what it looks like. And that's what they call, I believe it's a architectural shingle, or maybe a laminate shingle. Alright, so you can see this is the first side that we had taken off here. This would be the side that is towards the north. So that's where the two vents were there. We just used some, they're like plugs. It's kind of like a piece of Blandex in the middle around like a aluminum or a metal frame. You just kind of nail it down. So everything here looks actually pretty good. There's no issues with the plywood or anything like that. Even around like where the vents were and where the bathroom vent and the stacks came out, that type of thing. There's no water damage at all, so that's really good. Because of the age of the house, this is actually plywood. I want to say it's 3-ply, maybe 4. Obviously it's older just because of the age of the house or whatever. So, but for overall condition, the plywood's in pretty good shape here. We're just kind of looking up the ridge line. But yeah, it's not too bad. I'm pretty impressed that we don't have any issues. Alright, so this is what it looks like. We're just getting started here. We got ice and water at the bottom, and it's got that self-adhesive backing. And then above that is going to be the synthetic felt paper underlayment, and that just gets tacked down with some staples. Okay, so here we go. We're getting started here, putting some shingles down. If you recall, the more expensive quote called for 2 layers of that ice and water, so it'd be 6 feet up from the gutter edge. I don't know, that ice and water is really expensive. It's like $70 a roll. So I opted not to do that. The guy that's doing the roof said we could do it either way. It was up to me, and I honestly didn't think that it was needed. Okay, so now we're on the west side of the house. Kind of jumps around here a little bit. I didn't get recording of everything. This is the side there is actually some water damage, and that was from a previous chimney that at some point was leaking. I think that was before our time. We took it out and patched it, and that's the newer looking piece of plywood there at the top, and you can tell at the bottom that's all kind of rotted. So we're gonna actually end up replacing that. And then around the vent here, that actually doesn't look too bad. I know he was a little worried. He thought maybe that would be all kind of soft from it leaking, but it was pretty good. So kind of doing it in sections here so we don't get too much ripped off, because the weather's been questionable this whole time. So, but other than the spot around the chimney, again, the plywood looks pretty good. There was ridge vent that was cut in. You can kind of see that was opened up. and I will be putting ridge vent back in again. So this is a really big project, though. It's a lot to take on, and it's a lot of work, especially when you got to tear off shingles and carry shingles up. There's a lot of manual labor. This here is looking at the north side again. This is all shingled, and we got the new bathroom vent in there, all those type of things. Alright, so this is where the chimney is going to get patched here. It's actually 2 4-foot by 4-foot sections, so we're going to use 1 full sheet of Blandex. I don't think I got any video of that. You can see there I kind of boxed out where the chimney was just because it wasn't like that originally, and that should help carry the load across those rafters there that have been affected by the cut. Okay, so it's not as windy today, so that's why I don't have to do a voiceover. So, and I also worked yesterday, so I didn't get to video all of it. It's been extremely hot. Yesterday was like in the 90s and very humid. So it's been a slow go, a lot of breaks. No big hiccups besides that, where the chimney needed a little attention. Otherwise, it looks pretty good. So, I don't know, I can walk down on the other end too, I suppose, and kind of show you how he capped it. I don't want to walk on a new shingles if I don't have to. I don't know, I wanted to get a shot of the valley, how he did that, but I obviously must have forgot because I looked back and I didn't see anything. So, and we're expecting a big rainstorm here, so still got the south side here and then the entire front yet to do. And then this little valley here, so hopefully I can get some video of how the valley is done here. So we're figuring over half of it is done, or that's what I figured, I guess. A lot of shingles on this roof. Oh, maybe you can kind of see it from this way, how he did the valley there. So that valley actually has a shingle that runs with the valley coming up this way, and he's got the shingles from this way shingled through. Then there's the shingles that run right with the vertical, and then obviously these that come in like that. He did both sides like that. So underneath each valley then is ice and water. Then the valley metal, and then those shingles, and that little lump there's a lot of shingles in that where that all kind of comes together. Okay, so we kind of jumped around here, but it's all finished. I didn't get a video of everything because I ended up helping, so I just didn't have time. So I actually, when they started at 7 in the morning, I started helping them rip off, and then I'd go to work at 2 o'clock and work until 10. And then there were some days I worked first shift. And then like today, the 4th, July 4th, I worked my second job, and I just got done with that. That was about 12 hours today. So I didn't get any shots of how he did the valley. I think I talked through it, but I was hoping to get some video of how he did it, just so you could see. But
it's okay, I guess. We finished last night at like 9 o'clock, so I was at work, so they ripped off everything that's on this side, on the front side of the house here. So all the way down to where it comes down there. And then when I came home, I helped them shingle the rest of this here to get it done. So and then he came back today, and he was here from, I think, 8 till like 1, doing the ridges, putting the caps on and putting in the ridge vent with the cap. And he clocked around all the vents and stuff like that. And then this one he actually cut in. That's a ridge vent. Otherwise they were just two, like, I don't know if they called them turtle vents. That was like over here, but now he just put in a ridge. So it looks okay. I don't know, some of the shingles look like they could have been damaged before they were installed. But I think it's okay. Should work as long as it keeps everything dry. I guess that's the whole point. I'll walk down here to the south end of the garage. I'll show you that. It's hard to see, but there's still a little bit of a dip in there. I might try to take that out yet in the attic. This piece here, we actually, him and I, the contractor and I, actually ripped this all off one morning before work. And then he shingled it. I helped him put down the paper and the starter and the drip edge. And then I had to get to work, and that's as far as we got. And actually what happened was we ripped everything off, and the day before they were talking rain, but then it didn't rain until 3 o'clock, so it was kind of a wasted day. He didn't do anything. So the next day he came and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna rip off this corner here. I'm like, well, isn't it supposed to rain? He's like, no, it'll be fine. So we get this whole section all ripped off, finally cleaned off, no paper down or anything, and it starts to rain. So luckily it didn't rain very long. It was a very light rain, but it just rained enough to make everything wet. So, all right. So I'll get back to what I was initially talking about. So the cost of it, like I said, it was about 10.8. I'd figure about 11 for a roof this size. He had figured 39 square. And we were, when we were shingling the side over here, the front side of the house, we were actually, I want to say, a bundle and a half short. I think he picked up 3 bundles just so that I have some extras. So he figured it pretty close, so that's good. I know the other guy that was coming in at 40 would have been like 9 extra bundles for some reason. I don't know why so many, but anyway, all right, that'll be it for now.